"Oh, you do a triathlon after a marathon, don't you?" I was like, "Fucking." Then it's like the equivalent of me and you saying, "Well, when the custard creams are finished, I'll get the hobnobs out." Sleeping Beauty, she had a brief kip at best. She gets pricked on the finger by that spindly wheel, and Prince Charming's already at the castle gate, storming the castle. I've had longer naps. I was the villain to a couple of my staff once when it all went horribly wrong. It's like, he screwed me over on purpose. I said, "Fuck off, I've done my best."
I think somebody once told me the hardest step that you ever take is the first step. Maybe you're a student. Maybe someone's a student and they want to get something on to say that on their CV. Yes, I worked on the Parenting Business podcast. It was an absolute crap, but still did it. Hello and welcome to the Parenting Business, the podcast for all of you parents who are struggling or just trying to balance the whole parenting life with work life, with running businesses, that sort of thing. It's another week and it's been a bit of a quiet week. So yeah, let's crack on and just see where we go. Hey Ben, how are you?
Hello there, very well, thank you. And just for keep everybody aware, in case, I have the baby monitor down here this evening. My good lady wife has buggered off to buy something we don't need. So I'll be listening out for any noises. Not that I'm expecting any, because they were shattered this evening.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Sorry, I just want to jump in there. We're recording this a little earlier in the week than usual because I'm travelling this week. It's a Sunday evening. Where the hell has your wife gone to buy things on a Sunday evening?
Knows. She's found something on Facebook marketplace that we don't need. So now the kids are asleep. Let's bugger off and buy it.
Okay, is it something for you guys or for the kids?
No, we don't spend any money on ourselves. It's some more toys to try and chill them out and shut them up when they're being a handful. I mean, to be fair, 3 toddlers on your own is a bit is a bit of a tricky day, which my good lady wife manages to do a couple of times a week, every week. So who might have complained, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it is that thing of you don't realise how much work it takes to be a parent, do you? When you're out at work.
I think on the whole, my children are fairly well behaved. However, 3's always a handful. If we're not a regular listener, I have 4-year-old twins and an 18-month-old little boy. One of the 4-year-old twins is neurodivergent, we think. It can be challenging, let's put it that way. So if she wants to spend 20 quid on Peppa Pig toys, then fair enough. I'm not dealing with it while I'm out at work, am I? So there we are.
Yeah. I can understand that it's pretty challenging at times when it comes to having 3. I've only got the 1 and I only have I suppose part-time. So yeah, I do envy. Am I envious? No, I have a lot of respect for your good wife. Dealing with 3.
Well, and I'll add myself to the list. Putting up with us 4 isn't straightforward, I wouldn't have thought. But the way I'd sort of explain it is your lovely little girl every now and then will have a wobble or have a tantrum or whatever. With 3, they just take it in turns. So if one's having a tantrum about something, the other 2 will be all right, quite happy to stay out of it. Wait until the one that's having a tantrum's calmed down and then thought, right, it's my turn, and off you kick off. So it's juggling, I think is how I'd word it.
Funny enough, I've got a question for you on that. With the twins, do they wind each other up?
Yes.
Lots?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day. All day. They get on like house on fire at times. They fall out over the same toy. That's the only real problem we have, is when they both want the same toy. And inevitably, FOMO is a big thing, and one of us wants the toy the other one's got, simply because the other one's got it.
Yeah.
Hence.
Yeah. But that can often be a sibling thing, isn't that? Do you think that that's worse with the fact that they're twins? I don't know what you've got to compare it to, but...
Well, in my own journey, I'm an only child with 4 siblings, so I guess I'll add context to that. I am the outcome of my mother's first marriage and my father's second, from which there are 2, an older brother and sister there, and my mother remarried and there's 2 little brothers there, so I've got 4 siblings, really.
Yeah.
But there's always an element. My older sister, the oldest sibling syndrome, as we call it, is daddy's girl. I'm blue-eyed baby boy from the second marriage. We didn't rub along terribly well.
Yeah.
That's it. puts it mildly. I've not had the fallouts or the grief with my younger siblings much. Equally, I probably wasn't around as much as I could have been, should have been, etc. So there's 10 years between us on both sides. So my older siblings were teenagers nearly when I was coming out of nappies and toddling around and actually old enough to do things. So tough one. What was your question again? How different is it for different people? That's right.
Yeah, just with you've got twins, so
yeah. Well, we never argued over the same toy with any of my siblings because we're all at different age range, I guess. In terms of vying for attention, that's an every sibling thing, regardless, to a degree. I wouldn't class myself as the. This is a very immature way of looking at it. I look at it here now. I'm 40, grown up and sensible to a large extent. Back to when that wasn't the case, dare say a little bit of jealousy over parental time came into play when you look back. But I could have handled it a bit better, I guess. But that's how you mature and you learn, isn't it? And I don't know, I wouldn't put myself... I wasn't the favourite from either parent, but because I was different, I had my fair share of... When I say different, I just mean my older brother and sister come as a pair because there's a year between them. My younger brothers come as a pair, there's a year between them, growing up wise. And because I was the outlier, it was always, I'll do this with my younger brothers, or my mum would do this with the little guys, and then we'll go and do this with Ben. The 10 years difference, you have to entertain them different ways, right? I'm very much the same with my father, although my father's a workaholic and an alcoholic. He worked all day, drink all night, and quite a neglectful parenting style, which I struggled with the difference between the two. Overbearing mother who... Overbearing's a little bit harsh, but she's very much interested in your life and asks lots of questions. And, as a teenager, it's like, fuck off, leave me alone. Whereas my father is that opposite, couldn't give a toss, not bothered.
Yeah.
But he's a brilliant man. He's a brilliant man that I worship him. He had his own demons to deal with, and he didn't deal with them. And bringing us up was slightly unorthodox, if I could say that. It was also 30 years ago, all times change. My twins argue over the same toy. That's about it.
Okay.
One will have a little one shyer than the other. Being a referee.
Yeah.
So I've got one twin that's neurodivergent, and so Asperger's on the autism spectrum. Not majorly.
Yeah.
But trying to manage her meltdowns and tantrums and see them coming and plan it all. There's an element of being on the ball and just watching her do it more because you know what's coming when something flips the script. So with autism, mild autism, she has to have a plan in her head. So example, if we're going to, let's say we're going to go out soon, whereas most people and my other two children, you can say, all right, get your shoes, going out now. And it's okay, Daddy, off we go. With Jasmine, you have to preempt it. So in 2-3 minutes, we're off. Absolutely fine. Whereas if we say, we're going now, she'll have a meltdown because in her mind, she's in the middle of something or she's going to do this next. If, for example, we're in soft play and she's got her chair to come back to, if someone else sits in that chair, she goes ape shit. In her mind, that's where I'm going to sit when I'm ready for a drink. And someone else sitting in that chair, even though she's not using it, she's not ready for a drink, is enough to flip the lid. So we have to try and be in front of things like that. But that's about it. There's nothing major there. Just who was playing with that toy first? Well, you never bloody know, do you? You've got to try and make your best guess, best summary of what's gone off before you try and pull them apart and make a decision on who gets to play with Elsa at this particular time. And I think that's right in viewers who have more than one child. How do you do it? Because we're all going to be different, right? I thank my lucky stars I have twin girls because twin boys are constantly at it, constantly falling out, constantly. And they boil over and get violent with each other. My twins have never got violent with each other. They have a screaming fit when they both want the same Peppa Pig toy. That's about it. So very happy and fortunate I've had two girls as twins because that could have been very different. I don't really know what else to say on it. We just it's like anything in life. You just get on with it, don't you? Until someone sits you down and says, how'd you cope with that? You first start scratching the follicles. You just do. You just figure it out.
Yeah, and I think it is very much like that. You do kind of I see it with you that until I ask a question, just don't know the answer until you start thinking about it. And you do see, and I think, well, whether it's parents or whether it's a dad thing, I don't know. with us obviously both being dads rather than, mums, and maybe
We're
mums a
oblivious half the
different
time.
perspective. Yeah, whether
Well, we've got a mum on in a couple of weeks, haven't we? We
just
can
kind of
ask.
get on with it. Yeah, we have in a few weeks' time. We've got a mum coming up, so it'll be interesting to understand a little bit more her take on the difference in parenting and how she deals with things maybe different to us as dads, because I know that there is a difference. I've read lots of research and done that sort of stuff, and yes, I understand there's a difference.
And I think it'd be different as well with having boys as children, because my little lad at 18 months old, he's like, do you remember that computer game as kids, Crash Bandicoot? And the whole point of the game, Crash Bandicoot, was run at stuff. And when you run at stuff, you get, I don't know, points or coins or whatever. My son's a bit like that. Just he gets bruises and trips to A&E instead of coins and points. So for me, yeah, boys must be tougher to manage. Surely boys are tougher to manage than girls. We'll ask her when she comes on.
Now, you see, I don't know that, because the reason I say that's different, or I potentially see it different, is I think girls are probably easier when they're younger, but I'm dreading the teenage years with my daughter.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty open as a dad. I'm pretty in touch with feminine stuff and so on and so forth. But I'm kind of dreading the whole talks around that sort of thing, and women's problems, and dealing when she's getting her first kind of PMT and outbursts and so on and so forth. Whereas, I don't know, with boys, I think I'd just find it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, one of my girls today asked, when I grow up, Daddy, can I be a Disney princess? Which is firstly quite sweet, but secondly, my response is, as long as you find a Prince Charming and somebody that we'd all approve of. And I don't know why I came up with that one. She's only 4. But the point remains, you be a Disney princess. Know your value and make sure you get a Prince Charming. Anyway,
absolutely.
I've come off topic, haven't I?
No, I don't think you have, because I think as a dad, is anybody ever going to be good enough for your princesses? That's something that I can't answer. And I'm sure there's potentially other dads out there, other parents out there, because I'm sure it does affect mums to an extent as well.
Yeah, of course.
But I think more so dads of girls. I'd like to know, if you're a dad of a girl and she's kind of teenage years and you're dealing with the whole boys thing, are any of the boys ever going to be good enough for your princess?
Tough one. I mean, my niece is 18, so I spoke to my older brother a little bit about this, because she's been bringing boys home and not had a boyfriend, and she's whatever now. You can't keep up. You can't keep up with me at 18 or anybody else. I don't know. My older brother Stephen, he was just quite cool with it all. It's like, yeah, she's got this fella. He's all right. Thinks he knows it all, and he's something special, but it'll not last, because they'll get fed up with each other at some point, and that's exactly how it played out. She was giving him a hard time. He says, "See you then," and then she's moping and groping, wants him back, and then a fortnight later, someone else is on the scene. And think back to when we were 18, it wasn't that far different.
No, I guess not really.
It's
although it does seem a long time ago.
Yeah, we're 40, so I was like 23 years, 22.
Yeah, I'm 46 now, so I've got a few years on you.
Yeah. And funnily enough, the guest we had on last week is 20 years older and looked younger than the both of us. So what's in his cornflakes?
I still can't get over the fact that he does look about 10 years younger than us both.
I think part of it could potentially be the exercise he does. It's what he said about marathons and triathlons and all that. So you do a triathlon after a marathon, don't you? I was like, fuck, Then it's like the equivalent of me and you saying, well, when the custard creams are finished, I'll get the hobnobs out. It's just deadpan. I'll do a triathlon after a marathon. Fucking, I can't run to the post office. Digressing again. But yeah, that'd be interesting when they start growing up, wouldn't it?
Yeah. One thing I will do is I'm going to have a rant, actually. You mentioned snow
it's your turn, is it? Yeah, it's a bit of ice now, isn't it? There's not much snow left, so hope you enjoyed it on Saturday.
Yeah, why is it that we get a little bit of snow in this country and nobody can fucking drive?
Because we're not prepared for it. It costs tens or hundreds of millions of pounds being prepared for the snow. So I used to live in Canada, only for a year or so, and they knew it was coming. They just didn't know, was it beginning of October or end of October? They knew the temperatures where I lived was going to get down to -20 to -40 every January. It always does. You can prepare for it. Here, you get some snow once every few years, and it's gone on a day. You can't spend tens of millions of pounds plus preparing for it and gritting everything and keeping everything going. And there'll always be people who
But
worry.
we are gritting.
And yeah, but not a huge amount. But like you say, it's when I say being prepared for it, I'm talking that example I gave was sort of from a council perspective, I suppose. However, when you're used to it, 4 months a year, 5 months a year, every year, whereas here it comes for a day every few years. People like drama, people like stories, so they make a drama out of it. And it's scary, I've got to do this. Well, to be honest, when the news is full of people crashing, I don't know if you saw our local newspaper had a lorry that had come off a bank and down a probably 15, 20-foot bank and into the back of a warehouse. When that's front page of the newspapers, what you're going to think? You're going to think, oh, best not go out. Oh, if the news is on, don't go out if you don't have to. Don't do this, work from home. No wonder we all stop, because you got every news channel saying, stay in, you big Jesse.
I know, and I used to live in the Alps. I lived in the French Alps for a good while, over a couple of winters. And driving in the Alps, everybody just drives normally, and you don't see half the crashes. You say about that lorry. Yesterday morning, which was Saturday morning, I read the news and saw that within the space of about 40 minutes, there was 5 accidents on one stretch of road, all within about quarter of a mile of each other. It's a straight road. It's a completely straight road. For those that are local to Nottinghamshire, it was the A610. It was near IKEA. It is a super straight road. How the hell did 5 accidents, completely separate accidents happen within about 40 minutes or an hour or so of each other? That is just ridiculous.
Because people drive too fast. Maniacs. Absolute maniacs. Think they're invincible and they drive like idiots.
It just beggars belief that people in this country cannot cope with a little bit of snow. And admittedly, yes, we had more snow than we usually do in a short space of time.
Was it Kotovich?
I think we ended up with about 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah.
Where I am, we're a little bit kind of higher up and a little bit further out than you. What was crazy is I drove into the city centre and there was nothing.
Yeah.
And that's 6 miles away.
Got a global warming. It'd be frequency of traffic, because I want it city centre. There'd be a lot going on, plenty of footfall. Whereas you come out into the towns 5-6 mile away, there's less going on, so there's snow and ice days. It's a theory, if nothing else.
I think so to an extent, but I also think there was very much a kind of almost an M1 divide. To the west of the M1, everything I was looking at, there was lots of snow. And to the east of the M1, I actually got the tram into Nottingham yesterday. And even just looking along the tram line on the way in, from where I started, to going into the city centre, I took my daughter on the tram, and we were looking, and there was a visible difference in the snow along the edge of the tram tracks. It just petered out completely as we went into the city centre.
Yeah.
And I think they just got less snow overall. So although the temperature went up and it just turned to slush, I think the stuff towards the city centre, because they only got an inch or two, whereas my drive, I think I must have been shoveling 4 or 5 inches at least. Well, that's what I told my wife it was anyway.
Yeah, show off, 5 inches. Yeah. John, you just reminded me of something now. So Thursday, before it all came, we sat down with the staff and we said, right, the forecast ain't going to be great tomorrow. If it's icy, if you struggle, don't worry. We're not really behind the work, it's fine. Don't worry if you can't make it in, but try. Have a guess how many turned up for work Friday?
I bet they all turned up.
Me, on me Todd. Well, they're bollocks. And you think the buses are running. Really? My road's a bit slippy. That's about it. The rest of the road's absolutely fine. Just me, because we said we're not behind with anything anyway, and I ain't got to pay them, have I? So it's not a complaint as such. But here's where there'll be policies going in. We like a policy in our place. And the main reason is human beings will judge each other by our own standards. So what you end up doing, let's say, for example, close and play Friday, big tidy, big clean up for the last half an hour, which is something what we do. Now, everybody have a different standard of how clean the kitchen should be. So unless you have it as a policy, cleaning the kitchen means bleach the sides, sweep and then mop. It means go down the sink with the Jif, is it? Not Jif, is it? Flash or whatever. Give everything a once over. It is Sif. But the point is, everybody's going to have a different level. So then you're going to get fallouts, which is what I've had in the past. It's been like fucking gunfight at the OK Corral over something stupid. Same with like your lates policy, and there's a policy for fucking everything. And I'm not wild about it having to do that, but otherwise you just get bloody chaos. So now there'll be a turning up to work policy when it's tricky. And I think what we're going to say is, if the buses are running, I'm expecting you in. Don't mind you being a bit late if it is icy or transport problems somewhere. But the same applies if your bike breaks down or something. Its policy is this: we're expecting you in if the buses are running. Then we're all clear. We all know what's expected.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're all going to judge each other by our own standards. So you get one person going, I'd have walked here in the drifts of snow and made sure because that's how I'm wired up. And someone else will go, oh, there's a sprinkling of dust. Fuck that. Let's not bother. So you need to put a stake in the ground and say, no, this is what's expected. So we'll be doing that tomorrow, Monday. But otherwise, it's done, innit? We've enjoyed our snow for this year.
I was going to say, it's gone really warm this evening now.
Yeah.
And
yes,
I think a couple of days it'll all be gone. I think we're up to 10 degrees tomorrow, which I don't mind because I'm jumping on the train and off to London tomorrow. But I think that's it. We're done now for the year.
We're done. But it suits me because we've got to pay the heating bill in the factory. So the warmer it is, less gas you're burning. So
yeah,
glad
that's
it came.
Absolutely.
Glad I made me snowman. Glad it's gone.
See, that's the one bit I missed out on. We didn't get to make a snowman because my daughter wasn't with me until Friday evening, and by the time we got back from school, it was kind of a little bit late, and we'd done stuff and so on and so forth. And of course, it warmed up on Friday, no end. Then it froze again overnight. When I walked out on the snow in the garden on the Saturday, I didn't even leave footprints. It had just formed a layer of hard crust that we would have needed a pickaxe to build a bloody snowman. So yeah, we didn't get that. Hence, we ended up just going into Nottingham, dressing up warm, going to Nottingham, and then saying to you, "Hey, what you doing? Shall we go and burn an hour or so in soft play and let the kids run around?"
We did. It was we like a soft play, get some energy out.
Yeah, although, as I said to you, soft play, I think, is a license to print money.
Yeah, I don't agree. I think the same place in the middle of summer, there's one or two people there. Granted, it was absolutely heaving, but the weather's crap. What do you do to burn energy off your kids when the parks are shut and you're not kicking a ball around?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think with the birthday parties,
yeah, that's true.
For young kids, on birthday Saturday. Parties through the summer months still.
Yeah, on a Saturday. We've been into the same place on a Tuesday afternoon and been the only ones in.
I can get that, but I think, if you just work on skeleton staff through the week or do shorter hours through the week, if you manage your times right, then you make your money when it's cold, wet, winter, Probably. And at the weekends for birthday parties.
I'm inclined to agree. I just don't know enough about it. It's not for me. But there's some equipment cost there. There's some rent and rates there. They're not small buildings, are they?
No, I guess they're not. But I always just see it as, surely, when you think how many kids are in there at any one point in time, and what they charge.
I'm guessing, and all this is guesstimated. And the good thing about our podcast is nothing is pre-planned. So ring in and tell me I'm wrong. But I think. Do
you think the listeners can tell?
Yes. I think they can totally tell, both of them.
Do you think we have completely digressed? I think maybe we ought to come back onto parenting and kind of business life in general. If you do happen to own a soft play, if you're listening and you own a soft play, though, I'm really interested to find out the kind of costs involved. Yeah, the costs involved in running a soft play.
There'll be one for sale.
Is it a license to print money?
There'll be one for sale. Go on Dalton's or businessforsale.com. I bet there'll be one for sale. You can have a look at some accounts.
So what else has been happening over the past week with the kids, that sort of stuff? Anything?
Well, what was quite nice is, as you know, with the snow day, the morning we went out on the sledge, which my granddad took me out on when I was sort of a toddler. So it's a good 40-year-old sledge, and little lad had a go, quite enjoyed himself. Little girls weren't right keen, had a tantrum, were a bit more not so confident, not so adventurous, but we went around looking at a few people's snowmen. That were nice. Today, as I say, we had a bit of a slower day. Sleeping Beauty, she had a brief kip at best. She gets pricked on the finger by that spindly wheel, and Prince Charming's already at the castle gate, storming the castle. I've had longer naps. Snow White, the poor cow. Snow White had to wait 9 months for Prince Charming to find her.
You can't just show someone sleeping for a few months before Prince Charming gets there. The kids would get kind of quite disengaged with it if they were just watching a
she only nodded off 10 minutes.
Animation of someone sleeping.
She nodded off 10 minutes before the end anyway. The spell is cast, so the fairies go and hide her in the forest. She comes back to the castle just before she turns of age, pricks her finger day before her birthday or something, and Prince Charming's already knocking on the door to wake her up.
Maybe, conspiracy theory then, it was all down to Prince Charming. He planned the whole thing.
You never know, do you? You know, there's two sides to every story. Two sides to every story. People love a story that much. They create a villain half the time.
Yeah, oh God, absolutely.
Absolutely. I was the villain to a couple of my staff once when it all went horribly wrong. It's like, he screwed me over on purpose. Said, fuck off, I've done my best. You didn't hit your sales numbers. You know, there's 10 reasons we are where we are. Might not be where we are if you hit your sales numbers. Stop bad-mouthing me and going...
Yeah, and there are always two sides to every story.
Two sides to every story.
And I've been the villain a lot.
Mm.
I've always kind of thought and almost been taught, don't listen to the ones that shout loudest. Because the ones that shout loudest are usually the ones that are inaccurate or are just trying to cover their own arse.
Yeah. Empty vessels make the loudest noise.
Yeah. I've been absolutely the villain on numerous occasions, and I just get on with it. Okay, say what you're going to say. I'm not going to react. I don't...
No, every action has a reaction. You're best off not reacting most of the time.
Yeah.
Because no one's listening anyway. We all think this narrative that's being painted about us and all... We all worry about something that may or may not happen. Half the time you're worrying unnecessarily.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Not that comforts you.
Coming back to your snow day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Coming back to your snow day, I'm actually quite jealous of that.
What's that?
Because obviously my daughter's now at school. I was actually hoping that the school were going to send that message at kind of 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning to say school was cancelled.
Oh, no, this was the Saturday. My snow day was the Saturday.
Well, was it?
Yeah. Nursery was on. They went to nursery, built snowmen at nursery. So.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Friday, because the Friday was far better snow.
Probably. Once much of it was there, but yeah.
Yeah. No, there was plenty. It was Friday morning I woke up.
Yeah. You had your 5 inches
and
out.
Thought everything was going to be shut down. Yeah, that's it. I woke up to 5 inches.
Yeah, bragging again.
I was going to say, I've got the missus down. She only woke up to 1.
Yeah. Well, no comment. Does she listen to this?
She's listened to a couple of bits. She's listened to a couple of bits of this. She tries to avoid it though.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just because 2 guys wittering on isn't really her thing.
No, it's not the most entertaining, is it? To be fair, it's like Men in Sheds.
Yeah,
that whole thing.
I don't want to know about.
For the blokes that go, it's fantastic, but bores everyone else senseless.
Yeah, I don't want to know about Men in Sheds.
You know, do you not know the premise? Men in Sheds.
No,
it's old timers who are largely retired, who want to get out from under the wife's feet. They just turn up and make stuff normally for charity. It's little workshops.
Wasn't that how dogging started?
No, I'll have to refer to your experience for that.
Hey, I just happen to know, and don't ask me how I know this, but I will say it's not because I've ever been involved. Sherwood Forest, which obviously isn't too far from us, is apparently a bit of a, guys turning up and parking in laybys and walking their dogs hotspot.
Is it? I don't know. I've not got any dogs. All right. How many dogs you got?
Neither of half the guys that are walking their dogs.
Yeah, no, that'll be in good company. Sherwood Forest has been lawless for centuries, hasn't it?
Yeah, I know people that live in Sherwood Forest, and if you have a legitimate reason, don't park in a lay-by after dark. Is all I've been told. You'll soon have a knock on the window.
Knock on the window.
Yeah.
If blackmailing's your thing, turn up with a camera, perhaps. Sherwood Forest has been lawless for centuries. We used to have a sheriff that dealt with all that, didn't we? Again, 2 sides to every story, isn't there? Who's to say Robin Hood was more than a petty thief?
Well, yeah. Who's to say Robin Hood was actually real and not completely fictitious?
No, exactly. He could have been just a petty thief. We knew he told fibs because Little John was massive, wasn't he?
I wouldn't know. Now we are going completely off topic.
Off track.
And this is just...
There might be quite a lot edited out of this one. Innuendo.
I don't know.
Mind you, I like innuendo. You doing the edit, you can whip it out, can't you, for innuendo?
Yes. So, I ain't whipping anything out when I'm editing. And talking of editing, I will have another. This isn't a grumble. This isn't a grumble
it's
because
a grumble.
I'm loving doing this podcast. No, it's not, because I'm not.
But you're going to grumble about it. Go on, have your moan. Go on, get it off your chest.
No, this isn't a moan because I enjoy doing it, but I didn't realise how much post-production work, as in the after we've recorded work, it takes to create a podcast.
Yeah.
Hours and hours of editing. And as I said, I don't mind doing it. I actually quite enjoy it to an extent. But bloody hell, doing a podcast every week, it's hard work. Those people, I'm sure there's got to be some people listening that have podcasts. And we have got a guest coming on quite soon who has his own podcast.
Who has his own podcast. I listened to that the other day.
And and has been running a podcast for years. So
is that the best-selling author that we mentioned?
That's the one. That's the one. I don't think you've mentioned he's a best-selling author before.
Well, I've got his books here. We've been having a nosy to make a few pointers.
Yeah, I've been having a bit of a nosy at that. But I want to know, how the hell do people that are recording their own podcasts without having producers and all this, that and the other, how the hell are they finding time to edit them?
Well, they're not doing.
Because it takes a lot of work.
They're not doing much housework, are they?
Well,
sorry,
and I say it takes a lot of work.
I can't do the pots. I've got to do an edit.
Well, I say it takes a lot of work. What I produce at the end of it is usually pretty shit. It's probably marginally better than when we record it.
You're not working with much to begin with, are you, to be fair?
Hey, we're giving it a go, and I think that's the important thing.
It is. 100%.
And I think that's actually the parenting thing as well. Nobody's going to have a go at you for giving it a go.
Give it a go and learn on the job.
Yeah.
Like they do in Sherwood Forest.
As I said, I wouldn't know that. But I do.
I'll do some research and find out for next week.
I think somebody once told me the hardest step that you ever take is the first step.
Yeah. An awful lot of people sit around waiting for the right time or wait for this or just do that first. It never happens. You've got to just get on with it and improve as you go.
Yeah, or they worry that, well, what if it's no good? What if it doesn't work out? What if it doesn't go the way they planned? So fucking what if it doesn't go the way you planned? It'll go away.
Yeah. Yeah, get on with it.
And I suppose that led me to bite the bullet with starting this podcast, because there's so many times that I've personally think I've missed out because I've been too afraid to take the first step.
Well, you first mentioned this to me a good year ago. That you want to do something, blah, 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 and you were in my place. Is this episode 7 or something? We've done it for 6 weeks now.
I think we're on. I think this is episode 8.
8, whenever it was. You were in my place the Friday, because I think I've got this right. You were in my little building, my factory, on the Friday, and we talked about this. And I think it was me, or it might, one of us said to the other one, Monday, let's just do it. Because we were dancing around a little bit. When should we do this? Can we do that? What do you want first? I said, oh, fuck it. If it's shit and we can't hear each other and I ain't got the right headphones, who cares? Monday, we're doing it. And if we do it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll learn.
Yeah. And
I'm not far off. I'm not far off, am I? That sounds about right.
No, I think you're pretty accurate on that.
Umming and ahhing and dicking, shall we do this? Shall we do this? Shall we do this? And I can remember me just going, no, let's just fucking get on with it. Monday, 8 o'clock. See you there. And it was it. Have a listen back to the first one. It's woeful, but we give it a go. We're learning as we go. Well, and I think that's how, to a certain degree, unless you're doing brain surgery or something, I think that's how you attack life. Get on with it,
Even now, I'll say, I can't hear stuff at times. It's glitchy when we're trying to record because my laptop's not great and I always seem to have issues and bits and bobs, but we just get on with it. And half the time, I just make it up as I go along anyway. I've not heard what you've said, and I'll just respond to what I think you might have said.
Cheers. Yeah. Swap me out for a monkey bashing cymbals.
Hey, I don't know. Until I listen to the edit, I've got no idea what you've said half the time.
And I've got no idea until after you've released it.
And actually, even if I can hear you, I've got no idea what's going on generally in the world.
You bleeped a word out in the last one that we released, and I'm sat there thinking, what the hell did I say? Because normally you let swear words go in, And I must have said something pretty bad for you to bleep me out. Not a
Yeah,
clue.
I kind of
Can't
figured
remember.
that one. I kind of figured that one word we maybe
Yeah,
ought to bleep because
bit much. Yeah, fair enough.
it's that taboo word in a lot
Is
of
it?
stuff. And I thought maybe we'll just bleep that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, as I said to you, I actually think next time I'm changing it for a quack or a klaxon.
Yeah, do something a bit more comical than a beat.
Yeah. Just to fit a bit more in line with the absolute mishmash of of what
Of
the
what we do.
podcasts usually end up like.
Yeah. We'd get there, don't we? We'd get there.
Something I will say is
Go on, say
I'd
it.
best get the advert in. I'd best get the advert in
What's the
for the
advert?
podcast.
What are we
The
advertising?
advert. So yeah, no, the advertising is. So I'll just say, don't forget
Oh.
to follow us on Spotify or wherever you listen. Do also feel free to get in touch with your stories or top tips about how you balance your parenting business. Basically, anything at all you want to get in touch with us about, just even if it's just a moan about the fact that we're absolute drivel. You can
Yeah.
either leave us a comment or drop us an email at podcast@parentingbusiness.com. Also, if you like what you hear, please share the podcast with other parents and business owners and leave us a 5-star review just to help us. Even if you don't think we're 5-star, leave us a 5-star review anyway, just for some giggles.
Leave us a 1-star review and tell us what you think with a 1-star review.
No, we
We'll
don't
still
want
read it out.
1-star reviews.
We want the truth out of people. We want the truth. I seem to remember an advert somewhere. There's a coffee shop that had on the chalkboard outside, come inside and try our coffee, that one person thought it was the worst coffee they've ever tasted in their entire life on 3 continents. That's still an advert. People went and tried it.
They do say that
People
no
went and
press
tried it.
is bad press.
Yeah. Come and tell us.
You see, I always read the thing of, if you think we're excellent, tell everybody else. If you think we're shit, tell us.
Yeah, it'd be the other way around. People are too polite to tell me I'm shit, so they'll just tell everybody else. Normally what happens, isn't it?
That's usually what happens.
As long as it gets back to me. If it doesn't get back to me, how am I going to improve?
And that's always my thing. That's why I do genuinely, if you're listening and you either think we need to improve in a certain way, or if you're offering to help us, if you're a producer of podcasts and want to give up some time, or you're awesome at video editing and want to give up some time, or just get in touch, help us, please.
Even just with a few pointers, this is how I do it, try that.
Yeah. Or no, Ben, if they want to do it themselves, I'll happily let them jump in. Maybe you're a student, maybe someone's a student and they want to get something on to say that on their CV, yes, I worked on the Parenting Business podcast. It was absolute crap, but I still did it.
Yeah, I increased my skills at being patient and putting up with knobheads. Customer service, I can put up with knobheads. I did it on a podcast once.
What I'll say is, if they can edit this podcast, then I think they can edit anything. And I think on that time, we've babbled on for long enough. So I think it is going to be about time to go. What are your plans for this week?
My plans for the week, chase some money, because people don't pay the bills first thing in the new year and Christmas. Couple of meetings to go to. I am doing homework on our guest that we're recording next week. I'm doing a bit of homework on the Renters' Rights Act that's coming in May, see how that affects us.
But what about for the family?
What about the family? Oh, I don't fucking know. I just make it up as I go. Listen to my wife and get told what to do. What are we doing this
It's
week?
funny. Every time I ask you what you've got coming up for the next week, your first thing is work.
Yeah, because my mind is there because I've been so disorganized for a good chunk of my life. I now have a diary. I have a business coach. I go through this thing every couple of weeks. So do you. And we go through this thing regularly. My weeks are planned out almost.
Yeah.
Granted, things never quite go to plan, but I get a hell of a lot more done because there's a plan in the first place than if I didn't have one. I'd probably get an extra 25-30% out of my week when it's planned and thought through than when there's no plan.
But what about plan for the family?
Well, I'm married, so I'll get told what we're doing. The kids are at nursery 3 days. As I say, Laura will have a couple of days of stressing out with 3 toddlers on her own, which is a challenge, bless her. Next weekend, I don't bloody know, it's too early. I ain't got fucking...
Just a question for you. Have you never thought of taking a half day a week?
Yes.
During the week with Laura and the kids before the kids go off to school, 2 older ones?
Yes, potentially.
What stopped you doing it so far?
Nothing. I might start doing that in the summer, spring and summer.
In spring and summer,
Mm.
why wait till then?
Weather
Because they
for
start
one.
school in September.
They start school in September. As it stands, I am the sales focal point for both my companies, albeit one of them's barely doing much off the ground. So I have a very good manager, but she's not sales based. So literally that's it. I last year had quite a few caravan holidays where my phone's on. I can still do my job wherever I am. So we'll have a couple more of them, I should think.
But
And like you say,
if you're 30% more efficient, or trying to get 20-30% more efficient overall, well,
I think I have
that's
been. I think
more
I have
than
been.
that's more than a day a week. So
Mm,
surely half a day a week, if you said, I don't know, I'm picking a random day on a
mm,
Thursday morning,
mm,
I'm not going into work. And every Thursday morning until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock,
mm,
I'm having a morning with the family,
mm.
colouring, and it's a morning that the kids, the elder ones, or any of the kids aren't at nursery.
Well, I could
Why not do
potentially do
that?
that. I could potentially do that.
It's just a thought. It's just a
Yeah,
thought
and
because your brain automatically goes to weekdays are
yeah,
work.
yeah, because that is the part of my life which is organised. The family life is quite often laid back, much more relaxed. What should we do today? We don't often make that plan till like the night before.
Does that mean, though, that like lots of working parents, that family life is therefore disorganized?
Mm-hmm. Completely.
And why can't the whole lot be organized, as in the time you're spending on each of them?
No, here's you.
Just a thought.
We'll pick it up in a couple of weeks on another podcast when we've
And
had a
it's
proper think. And the seed that you've just planted in my wife's mind, because she'll be listening to this the day it comes out, probably, or the next day, I'm sure that will get brought to the table. So if this goes out on Thursday, I should imagine I'll be having some discussions about it Friday.
part of the reason I also ask is with the guest that we've got, that we're recording
Yeah,
with this week, but isn't
we are.
necessarily coming out
No.
in the next week. But we've got to edit it and so on and so forth. But one thing that author mentions in their very first book is around
That one.
efficiency, allowing people to spend more time with family.
Pretty much flip the script from put the lifestyle first and create a business that supports the lifestyle, which is basically the premise of the big idea.
But you're talking about becoming more efficient, and you've become more efficient. More efficient
No, I
for
have.
what?
Just when you think of when you get to Friday afternoon and you look back across your week, I get a hell of a lot more done, at least 20% more done when that week is planned out.
Yeah,
because
but
you don't
what are
sit
you
there. You
becoming
never
more
sit there.
efficient for?
You never sit there going, well, to get more done in my time, to get more money in, to get more distance run with my day. You've just thrown me off what I was going to say, you bastard. What was I fucking saying?
But your efficiency is to get more money in.
Yeah, or more things. I don't have to employ a sales staff because I can do it myself. But I do it myself in the way. But the point is, when you finish a task and you don't have next I'm doing this, next I'm doing that, next I'm doing that, and in my diary it's down to like a couple of hours doing this, and then when it gets to my time, when stop thinking about that now, move on to the next thing because my time's up, I get more done that way. I don't sit there dithering over an advert which needs designing, and I can spend 4 hours dicking about. Right, I've got an hour to design that, and then I'll look at it again tomorrow with fresh eyes after I've run it past 2 or 3 people. Because before, you'd spend, fucking hell, it's 11 o'clock and all I've done is dither about with this design. Instead of that,
I get
between 8 and 10, I'm going to dick about with this design. Now I'm going to send it a couple of people that are in advertising, and then on Wednesday, in 2 days' time, I'm going to come back to it with the feedback I've got and finalise it for another hour. That's a much better way of spending your time. And when you put a time limit on things, you get shitloads more done. Or I do.
100%. 100%. And getting that shitloads more done gives you more free time. Yeah?
Yeah.
Gives you more time spare.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, more often than not.
Okay. So do you use that spare time for family or for more money? And if it's for more money, to spend on what?
We're going to Disneyland in October. Not booked it yet, but the October half term, we're going to Disneyland. That's what I'm working towards. So are you? Didn't you say that a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the same flight,
The hope is to go to Disneyland. No, I'm driving.
Okay. Well, I'm not driving. Driving alongside the road, I'll crash.
So you're looking to earn that extra money so that you can have a week?
First and foremost, I'm looking to be happy with my output for that week. So I compare myself to myself. I've stopped comparing myself to anybody else, but I do compare
Yeah.
myself. I compare myself to myself, and I don't do this anymore, but I used to grade myself out of 10. How much did I get done? Not so much how much did we sell, because that has so many variables, but how much of my
Yeah,
task
yeah.
list did I get done? What went to plan? What didn't? Blah, 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 right, 7 out of 10. I can treat myself to a takeaway because I've got more than 6 out of 10. 4 out of 10, fucking hell, I'm cooking. You know what I mean? Have a little treat in mind, or a bit of not a punishment, but a bit of that one great, you're not having a new pair of shoes is going to have to
Absolutely.
wait, sort of thing. So that's just kind of, because I get disappointed in my effort if I have a shit week. So to make sure I don't have a shit week, I plan it out quite well, and I grade myself on the Friday afternoon. So Friday afternoon, I will plan the following week, more often than not, for the last hour.
Yeah.
What do I want to achieve?
100%.
Bum, 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 bum.
100%. I get that. Get that. Absolutely. Planning the week is really good. What I find really interesting, it's got me thinking as well.
Mm.
We had
Yeah, because
Mark
I
on
don't really.
last week,
We did.
and one of Mark's things was, wish I'd spent more time with family.
Yes, but he was also 70, 80 hours a week.
I get that totally.
I'm averaging sort of 30, 35.
Yeah, I get that. So that's 30, 35 on what? On
Mm.
both businesses or one
Yeah,
business?
no, both. And
Okay.
this
So
podcast
that's,
and everything
yeah,
shebang.
yeah. Okay. So that means that you've got 1 day a week spare. Standard week, 38, 37,
Yeah.
38-hour week. Or
Um.
you've got a half day.
Yeah, well, half day.
Okay. So when's that half day that you
My
spend?
break. Oh,
When's
I
that
don't fucking know.
the family?
My break. Well, no, I don't necessarily start early, and I normally don't finish late. So that's kind of. It's not so much a half day. It's start at 9, finish at 3.
Okay.
My brain can't switch off for long. Drive
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
mental if I start having nothing, no challenge. And that's part of the reason for me little sideline, not because I certainly don't need one, but not necessarily because I want one, but because I don't have a challenge in the factory. It's ticking along
Yeah.
quite nicely, and it's not very challenging. Well, if I make my factory challenging, I'm taking risks that I probably ought not to.
Yeah, yeah.
So I need something to challenge me every single day. Apart from the week, I'm happy enough at the weekend, but Monday to Friday, I need something to challenge my grey matter. Where am I going with this?
Yeah, yeah. But why not, if you're timetabling your days, why not timetable in
Yeah,
3 hours on
and
a
I could do,
Thursday morning?
and I probably can, as long as I've got my phone on me, I probably can do. The only thing I'm going
Why
to
do you need
struggle
your
with is
phone on you?
because I am the only sales staff.
Okay.
We're not missing an order, but point taken.
So do you not have a process in place that allows somebody else to hold their sales?
Yeah, but she's a bit of an. Kirsty, who runs the factory, is a bit of an octopus at times. She's
Okay.
stretched. If she's doing reception role as well, she's stretched. So at this
Okay.
moment in time,
So if you got hit by a bus tomorrow, what happens to your company?
My factory manager will inherit half and keep it running. My accountant will run alongside my factory manager as not consultant, but as controller of my estate, as it were. We'll go to my accountant.
But what I mean is,
and she
who's
will
doing
need
sales?
she will need to employ a sales staff. However, she won't have my wage to worry about, will she? So she can afford one. So that's basically how it's set up. My accountant will
But
manage
what I
my
mean
estate.
is, if you,
I've not had that conversation yet. But my accountant, if he's willing, will manage my estate for a fee. And I know he's willing because I've kind of floated the idea, but I need to go through the detail. There's stocks there that do all right. There's property there, and there's that little business, and all three of them, plus the big insurance payout that you're going to get by me being hit by a bus, should fund the future quite nicely.
I actually wasn't talking about you getting hit by a bus and dying. I was talking about you being hit by a bus and ending up spending 6 weeks in hospital.
Oh, no, I'll be conscious. So I've got my phone on me.
But so you're gonna run your entire sales from a hospital bed?
There is, yeah, why not? There is enough wiggle room. There is enough wiggle room in the finances for sales staff, but there is not enough work to do for a sales staff at this time. So I don't want to pay for a sales staff.
Okay, but wouldn't a sales member of staff If you
Yeah.
said, right, you've got 6 months to fund your own salary, otherwise you're out of a job.
Yep.
Is that not
Um,
an incentive
no,
for
you
them
can't
to
do it. No,
take
you
on and
can't.
drive it?
No. Legally, you can't do that anyway.
You can, because you can
It
say,
work.
look, I've got enough
What's
money
this?
for this for 6
What's this?
months.
What's this big bill that Angela Rayner's just brought in or about to bring in? You
It's not
can't.
come out yet.
No, I know it's not come out yet, but it will be done in the next 6 months.
But you can make them redundant again.
Probably.
You can
Yeah.
say,
No,
look,
you
there's 6 months for this
It's not.
job, otherwise you're going to be made redundant.
Yeah, it's not worth a shout. One of the thoughts is to headhunt somebody who is in a similar firm with similar product range, but different product range to what we're currently doing. So I've done that before. That worked okay. And what that person would do is they would take on the sales for the whole business, but be expected to bring in XYZ from that particular product range.
Yeah.
And that is something I'm likely to do when we've got our ISO, International Standards of Operations 9001, probably in the summer.
Okay.
So that's the kind of logic. But there's a few things that have got to fall into place before we get there.
Yeah. But until that happens, at the moment, if you end up in hospital,
Yep.
laid up for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And what I'm not talking about you being specifically laid up. What I'm talking about is the fact that, is your business going to fall apart if you take 3 hours off every Thursday morning?
Oh God, no, no, far from it.
So if you're more efficient, why can't you take 3 hours off every morning now with the kids?
You're intent on getting me in trouble, aren't you?
No, I'm intent on balancing exactly what this podcast is about: the parenting business, family and business. And it's really difficult for business owners to have that mindset. And I've been there where you kind of, if I've got this much extra time, if I put that time into sales, I can make even more money.
I think that's where I am in terms of the salesperson needs to be in place. That's exactly where I am. But the salesperson needs to be in place. Yeah, but I'm not quite ready for one yet. If I do it now, I've got to take a pay cut, and I'm paid quite reasonably well at the minute. I don't want to take a pay cut yet.
Yeah, I get that.
There is an element as well of we are applying for our ISO, as I said, and we are implementing an MRP system which will incorporate. So for listeners, MRP is manufacturing. What is it? Reporting process. Go on, tell me. Is that it? Yeah. And CRM
reporting process.
Yeah, and CRM, customer relationship management, of which I'm happy with the CRM that I've got, but we may as well incorporate the whole thing and save some money by having that designed in-house. So my logic is let's get that up and running over the next few months, and then do exactly that. Punt for a sales staff, and I might start doing that journey. I might start doing that journey sooner rather than later, just so I can take my time with it. I don't want to just take the first person on who applies. It's really, I'd sooner headhunt a little bit more and take my time with it.
Absolutely. I think it's got to be, you always employ the right person, not the first person. But I do think you seem to be at that stage where you're looking for efficiency all the time, but you're looking for efficiency all the time to earn you more money rather than to earn you more time.
I think it'll earn me both.
So when we talk about balancing work and family and having that bit extra time, I'm jealous of the fact, I suppose, to an extent, that I missed out on sections of my daughter's life before she started school because of challenges between me and her mum.
Yep.
And I missed out on a huge chunk. And your girls start school in September in 8 months, effectively.
Yeah, 8 months.
Which then means you won't have that opportunity to do things on weekdays with them during term time. Just the seed?
No, not at all. The seed is, what you've done is plant the seed to make it a weekly thing. 2 or 3 for long weekends in the offering where we go away on the Saturday and come back on the Tuesday. So they go back to nursery on the Wednesday and wife goes back to work on the Wednesday. So that kind of logic is already in place and shouldn't be too much of a drama. What you've done is plant the seed of, why don't you do it every week, which I haven't really thought about too much.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about hours and hours. I'm talking about literally a couple of hours every week. Couple of extra hours, 2 or 3 max, extra hours where you go. And even if those extra hours are, it's a Wednesday or a Thursday morning, right, me and mummy, we're going to draw with you and paint with you on that morning. And you're doing it with your wife as well. You said, you don't know how your wife manages 3 kids 2 days a week.
It's challenging. I manage 3 kids. I get it. It's challenging. But,
Make it 1.5 days a week for her,
I do it a
and
hell
you
of a lot
enjoy
less.
that time too. But you enjoy that time too, because when they go to school, you'll have less opportunity for it. And every time you read a book, we've talked about this before. Alan Sugar, Richard Branson, Mark mentioned it. The guest that we've got coming on next week has mentioned it.
Yeah. They all say
it's always they look back.
Every single one says.
Yeah. They've all looked back and said, I kind of wish I'd spent, everybody understood why I was doing it, but I kind of wish I'd spent a bit more time with my family, because I could still work hard in the business and spend a little bit more time with the family because of efficiency. You are one of the kings of trying to be efficient in your work life.
I'm now kind of learnt the damage done by not being.
So I'm gonna kind of suggest we leave on that thought.
We'll sign off
now
there.
that seed's been planted, and
Thank you.
we will see how you're getting on. I feel for you.
About it. We'll think about it. In give me 2-3 weeks, we'll come back on with an answer or two.
Yeah, we'll have a chat. That's what it's all about.
We got guests coming up for the next couple, haven't we? But we'll have a
it's just
review.
And this isn't, I'm not just saying this to you. I'm saying this as a nudge to all of those parents out there that are running businesses that are trying to get more efficient. It is that, what are you getting more efficient for? Are you getting more efficient for your business, which, okay, brilliant, but maybe split some of that and get more efficient for your family as well?
Yeah, one thing leads to another, doesn't it? There's an element as well of you get your business to a point where you're not needed, and you spend half your time doing this. That's what half the game's about for me. Yeah.
Absolutely, but getting your business to a point where you're not needed for a couple of hours a week is a pretty easy task usually.
I'm there. Yeah.
So,
hence I've got a sideline because I'm not needed in the factory for a few hours every day.
Yeah.
Don't go in many days, you know that.
Yeah. No, I get that. So, and I guess that is a good time to wrap up.
Good time to end.
So I think it's going to be a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from him, who was at the 2 runners.
I think it was. And I think we will catch up soon, and we will see you next Thursday.